In almost every community, there is a school, and there are hospitals and police stations in many others. This leads to concerns that exempting all schools, hospitals and police stations from load shedding is not practical. According to energy expert Huse Moleshe, this may increase the likelihood of intense load shedding for other customers. She says new infrastructure would need to be built as these are interconnected in the national grid.
It's not practical at all, because if you have schools, you have clinics, hospitals, they're all embedded within the communities. And the networks, there are networks with medium voltage networks that go through that. And then you also have municipal grid going through that. So to isolate a particular school is not practical. And what it would do in any case, it would mean that if you were to do that, if say hypothetically it was practical, you would need to then load shed more for others or other areas. So it could lead to a more intense load shedding. They refer to diesel generation. Again, that problem, I think, would, from a budgetary point of view, 6 months perspective, National Treasury goes through a budgetary process for those kind of things. So how practical is that in 6 months? And it will also potentially mean importing of diesel generators and all of that kind of thing. So if you would know that during the national state of disaster, that was proposed. But what was happening is that only specific hospitals could feasibly be done were targeted, and there was infrastructure that needed to be built in order to meet those needs. So you might as well use that money to reduce load shedding.
The Health and Allied Workers Indaba Trade Union, Haitu, which was part of the complainants in the court case, has welcomed the ruling. It says in a statement that the majority of public hospitals are not exempt from load shedding, and not all of them have generators, which makes load shedding a matter of life and death for patients on life support. The UDM also says it is happy with the court decision.
The UDM welcomes the judgment on the case we took with other 17 other groups to court, wherein we asked for relief for areas like hospital, police, schools, and so on and so on. So we are happy.
ESCOM and the Department of Public Enterprises say they are still studying the judgment and its implications and will consider all legal options and respond in due course. Gloria Safako Musi, SABC News, Johannesburg.